My story begins a few years ago in November 2014. I was living the pretty ordinary life of a young professional out in the Bay Area, packing my lunchbox most days, reverse commuting to work, hanging out with my friends when I could, flossing. During this time, a couple of my college friends and I had gotten into the habit of submitting captions to the New Yorker Caption Contest. For anybody unfamiliar with it, the New Yorker is one of the oldest and most famous magazines in the US. And in addition to its journalism, part of what makes the New Yorker unique are its cartoons. Here are a couple of my favorites. I'm sorry. As for the caption contest, each week the cartoon editor issues an uncaptioned illustration for which readers write and submit captions. A few weeks later, 3 finalists are announced in the magazine, and then readers get to vote on their favorite. For whatever reason, it's a huge deal. The contest receives thousands of submissions each week. There's only been a little over 500 winners in its history. Winning it is the ultimate prize. It's the modern literary version of capturing a white whale or riding a unicorn bareback through a meadow of double rainbows and 4-leaf clovers. The winner receives their name printed in the New Yorker magazine, a signed copy of the cartoon, and cultural immortality. So my friends and I, we all wanted that. And so every couple of weeks, when one of us thought we had a good idea for a submission, we would email it around for feedback. So again, it's November 2014. I was home near Boston for Thanksgiving, and my mom and I were playing Scrabble. And as a quick shout out, my parents are here tonight. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you also for sharing your New Yorker subscription. You're the best. So during one of my mom's Scrabble turns, I opened the New Yorker and flipped to the caption contest, and here's what I saw. And for those of you who can't see the screen, I wrote this one in. The cartoon shows a bull in the middle of a bullfighting ring, only instead of charging at the matador, the bull is slow dancing with the matador. The wheels started turning. In college, I was a film major, and for a while I got really into writing romantic comedy screenplays. And at some point I realized I didn't have the chops to make it as a pro, but I still love good movie dialogue. And this caption thrust me back into my college screenplay days. If I were that bull tangoing with that matador, what emotions would be going through my head and through my bullhorns? What would I say to the matador? What might the matador say to me? I can't explain how or why, but Tom Cruise in the movie Jerry Maguire popped into my head. As a kid watching movies like Top Gun and Mission Impossible and Jerry Maguire, I thought Tom Cruise was the coolest person alive. In part, he was a fun actor back then for sure, but in part, he was only 5'7" compared to Nicole Kidman's 5'11", which I found to be inspiring. Jerry Maguire gave us enduring lines of dialogue like, "Show me the money, and you complete me, and you had me at hello." You had me at hello. And in that instant, I knew with certainty the winning caption to the New Yorker Caption Contest. Not "you had me at hello" but you had me at Olay. I submitted my caption to The New Yorker, took a screenshot, and emailed it to my friends on the thread. Here's that email. At the top it says, guys, I think I have a caption contest winner. And it's a little tough to see, but just to authenticate this whole thing, here's my username, nate.j.randa. And here's my caption down at the bottom. Let's zoom in. This caption, it's not hilarious, but New Yorker caption contest winners aren't supposed to be hilarious. They're supposed to be short, simple, subtly referential, and modestly clever, and I felt like I'd put together the complete package. So fast forward to December 8th, 2 weeks later. It's Caption Contest Finalists Day. I was supposed to hear from Tuck about my early action application on December 18th, just 10 days later, but that was honestly, in that moment, a distant concern. So I opened the New Yorker app on my phone, I navigated to the caption contest, waited for it to load, and here is what I found. What you see, or don't see, is my caption, you had me at Olay. What you also see is that my caption had been attributed not to me, but to one Rachel M. Loveman of Indianapolis, Indiana. It turns out Rachel and I submitted the same exact caption, word for word. We both even included the upward-facing accent over the E in Olay. I couldn't believe it. I was heartbroken. I immediately emailed my friends looking for some consolation, anything. And their responses were helpful. Over the next 2 weeks, waiting for the winner to be announced, I couldn't decide if I wanted my and Rachel's caption to win the grand prize or not. Before I could figure it out, sure enough, 2 weeks later, you had me at Olay. Won it all. Thank you. That's not, it's not the end. Just like that, I'd won the New Yorker caption contest completely anonymously. I'll be honest, there's a big part of me that wants Rachel M. Loveman from Indianapolis, Indiana, to know that I exist. I'm not proud of that part of me, but it's there. But I've thought about it a lot, and there's just no good that comes from me raining on her parade. There is, of course, another part of me that wants Rachel M. Loveman and me to meet and fall in love. It'd be the ultimate rom-com. Finally, my big break. Every time I meet somebody named Rachel, I have to ask, what's your last name? At least I did until curiosity finally got the best of me, and I Googled her, and it turns out Rachel is happily married to a palliative care physician named Lyle. And I know this because the local Indianapolis newspaper published an article about Rachel's triumph in the captain contest. I read in that article that Rachel and Lyle both compete in the contest every week. Isn't that sweet? I've also, of course, found Rachel on Facebook, and even though we're not technically Facebook friends, and she has no idea I'm out there, every so often I check in on her just to see what she's up to. Let's zoom in on that. Look at how confident she looks. Look at that smile and the twinkle behind her eyes. That is the face of somebody who's won the New Yorker caption contest. There is a final part of me, the prevailing part of me on good days, that has found some peace with my caption contest experience. Sure, when you win the caption contest, you get a stamp of approval from the New Yorker, world famous magazine. Seeing your name printed on that last page and having it signed and framed on the wall of your living room is a unique status symbol that few people can match. It's official recognition that says you did something interesting. Let's get her out of here. Life is full of wanting and chasing recognition. Here at Tuck especially, I think it's fair to say we focus a lot on recognition and on success. We go to a school that stands out on our resume. We try to get jobs at companies that people have heard of. Yet every day, there are millions of beautiful, hilarious, memorable moments that too often never get recognized in Tuck Talks or newspapers or the New Yorker. A dear friend of mine asked me recently if I could choose whether I would rather have won the caption contest or if I prefer having this story to tell about being the winner who never got any credit. And I have to be honest. That is a ridiculous question. Are you kidding me? Do you think I'd still be recruiting right now if the bottom of my resume said that I was a caption contest winner? There's no way. Of course I wish I'd won the caption contest. But such is life. I'm not trying to say that I'm immune to recognition. I came to Tuck, after all. I chose to stand up here and give this talk. But life and the caption contest and Rachel M. Loveman of Indianapolis, Indiana, and Lyle have all affirmed for me how meaningful it still is to try to do things we deem to be fun or interesting or exciting or good, even when nobody's looking, and even when you don't get any credit. I didn't get my name printed in the New Yorker, but I still won the contest, and I'm proud of that. Thank you.